This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Assalamu alaikum and welcome everybody to an exclusive here at ASS News. I am Asman bin Likin, and today we have a very important interview with one of the head of the Pakistani Taliban. Hello, sir. How's it going?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. How's your day today, brother?
Sir, it is absolute shit. I can't even. It is just shit.
Why is it shit? Shouldn't you be celebrating with your brothers from Afghanistan, liberating Afghanistan from the occupiers?
Sir, I cannot begin to explain to you how shit it is. The Afghanistani Taliban, they ruined us.
Ruined you guys? Why?
They are son of bastards, okay? It is a very long story. But let me begin to tell you. They don't have power for 20 years. 20. Not 2, not 1, 20. They come in here, they come into Afghanistan and they say, oh, we're going to take over everything. They get every headline. Pakistani Taliban never go away. We don't get shit. Nobody even pays attention to us. We are here in Pakistan. We are terrorizing everyone. We are saying, go fuck yourself, bastard guy. Batamiz. Right. And they give us no headline. No New York Times. President Biden, shame on you. You turn your blind eye to Pakistan Taliban, curse your mother.
So if I get this right, you're angry at the lack of recognition and jealous of the Afghan Taliban right now?
Oh, sir, stop. Shut the hell up your mouth. Okay? This is not jealousy, okay? This is reality. Okay? Sir, Afghani Taliban, they are lazy as shit. Okay? They sleep till 2 p.m. every day, and they don't even have the balls to say, "Oh, we're going to Kabul." Okay,
here.
Sir, what?
I said that kind of sounds like somebody we know over here. They sleep until 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
I tell you, sir, if you know that person, shoot him or her, but it's most likely him.
I think it's a him. So. Basically, what you're saying is that these younger versions of the Taliban are getting all the recognition that you've been working hard to get. I mean, you've been subjugating, oppressing, beating people up, throwing gay people off of roofs, making sure women are subjugated, but you get none of the headlines or the celebrity.
Sir, we even get a fucking op-ed in New York Times, okay? Siraj Hashmi, he say what the Taliban want. Okay, that was not Afghanistan. That was us. Okay, sir, listen to me. I have to tell you, sir. It is like you're growing up. Okay, and you have a father who has very, very high expectations for you. You say, sir, why you not what son? Why you not doctor yet? So you go to medical school. Okay, become doctor. He's still not happy. Okay, now imagine that is. Not you, but your elder sibling, okay? Imagine you are in the middle, okay? And your baba says, son, go to medical school, and you don't go, you become lawyer instead. You say, oh, sir, you congratulations, you're a lawyer, but why you not doctor yet? Okay, that is what we are dealing with, okay? Afghanistani Taliban, they may be doctor, but they are shit doctor. They're family medicine, okay? They get all the shitty work.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit more. So you're saying that your father never really gave you the attention or the respect you needed. How does that make you feel?
No, sir. I don't have daddy issues, okay? I have I have a very loving father.
So he's proud that you're the head of the Taliban, not a doctor. That's
No, sir. How dare you? How dare you suggest my father is proud of me? How dare you? Stop. Shut the hell up your mouth.
So, what about your relationship with your mother?
So, is this Dr. Phil? What the fuck you doing?
And how do you feel about, never taking Candace out to the dance?
Candace who? What's going on, Habibis? Welcome to another Habibi Power Hour. Fucking hit it, Spencer.
Last night in Kabul, the United States ended 20 years of war in Afghanistan, the longest war in American history.
So I have legislation that will be introduced in impeaching both Biden and Harris, and Nancy Pelosi can follow them out the freaking door.
Phil McCracken. Phil McCracken. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, the BBs? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
We're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of the Habibi Power Hour. Jay,
Yes,
how you
sir.
doing?
I am doing wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Especially
Happy
after last
September.
week.
Happy September. It is a new month. It is odd start to the month. Not gonna lie to you. Seems like everybody's gone crazy the very first of the month. I guess September just kind of does that to people.
Yeah, I think it does. It's kind of surreal, honestly, hearing, that the war is over, that we are no longer at war. That was just weird to hear. It really was. Like it felt a little surreal listening to him say that, especially after all that we saw happen. What was your reaction to it when you were hearing him say it?
Well, before I get into it, let me give you an idea of what the fuck's happening. So, President Biden obviously defended his decision to end the Afghanistan war. And we actually have a little clip for you right here.
Last night in Kabul, the United States ended 20 years of war in Afghanistan, the longest war in American history. We completed one of the biggest airlifts in history, with more than 120,000 people evacuated to safety. That number is more than double what most experts thought were possible. No nation has ever done anything like it in all of history. Only the United States had the capacity and the will and ability to do it, and we did it today. The extraordinary success of this mission was due to the incredible skill, bravery, and selfless courage of the United States military and our diplomats and intelligence professionals. For weeks, they risked their lives to get American citizens, Afghans who helped us, citizens of our allies and partners and others on board planes and out of the country. And they did it facing a crush of enormous crowds seeking to leave the country.
So, all right, here's the good news. We're out of Afghanistan finally. Here's the bad news. We're basically paralyzed from the neck below. That is how bad this withdrawal took. That's how bad this withdrawal was.
Essentially,
it was as bad as you can imagine it. The fact that Joe Biden says it was a success and then blames everything on his predecessor. I mean, it really just speaks to how sort of insane everything is, because if it was a success, why would you then call it a debacle? It's just nothing. Like, I got nothing, Jay. I mean, honestly, I got nothing.
None of it made any sense.
Essentially,
I mean, all of 100%. None of it made any sense whatsoever, because everything he was saying, he was contradicting himself in probably the same sentence, because he'd be like, And just remember, this deal was made by Trump, which was a complete success. But the debacle you're seeing is because the deal he made with Trump that I agreed to. But because Trump did it, it's a debacle. But you see me and how it was a success. And everyone who wanted to get out got out, except for the people who didn't get out. We're going to go and get you out. We make a promise that we'll get you out. But everyone who wanted to stay, except for the people we need to go back in and get out. It's like, Jesus, fuck.
And
people are like, and people are like, this is the greatest presidential speech of my lifetime, or some stupid shit like that.
Dude, like, I had to wipe my screen with the squeegee because it had so much like Biden come on it. It's insane, man. And that wasn't even from me, okay? It's just like an overflow from Twitter. I mean, Jennifer Rubin, Max Boot, Ron Klain, Joy Reid. I mean, the fact that like Ron Klain, I mean, Neon Taster, aka Gnome Bloom, did one of the finer tweets I've seen about all of this. Let me see if I could pull it up. But it's basically like to give you an idea of just how like incestuous things are in Washington with sort of like this echo chamber circle jerk between the good folks in the Washington media and the White House.
Yes, that digs with I never want to hear Biden come again. Well, we can't make any promises.
No, it's probably going to happen soon. It can't come soon enough, right? But this is perfect. I mean, the Neon Pacer basically posting what is a human centipede meme where Jennifer Rubin tweets something that Joy Reid immediately gobbles up, followed by Ronald Klain. And we all know if this were the Habibi Bros, that Jay would basically be where Ronald Klain is.
Oh, absolutely. And it was really funny because somebody was like, this is Jay's favorite movie. I think you said that. And I was like, and I was honestly making pasta, and then I put the movie on at the same time. You know what's really funny though, and I have to point this out, the anti-Semitism you're portraying by not following Gnome. The fuck?
That's strange because this is what happens with Twitter. Because if I go to his page, I'm following.
You are following.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why that does that. See, then it goes back to here. It says I'm following him. Twitter's because weird like that. You would
go and I think because of the new update and shit that's what happened. But that looks so weird when it's bright white. I feel like I'm already following the person, and when it's not, I feel like I have to click it to follow him.
Yeah, and then you end up unfollowing that person.
Right, and then end up following him back. It's just stupid.
Faye says it's no am and not gnome. That's why I call him Neon. Okay.
What did I say? Did I say no? Did I say no?
I call him gnome. I thought that's how. Too. Isn't that Noam? No. Noam. Maybe I.
I'm the no same height as a
it's
Noam.
Noam.
No.
How the hell do we get? How do we get from Noam to no?
No, but we said Neon, didn't we?
Yeah, but I also call him
Noam.
So, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, everything happening in Afghanistan just fucking garbage. I mean, just the fact that, and look, there was actually a report that the Pentagon is denying that the U.S. actually left service dogs in Afghanistan. We actually have a clip here of the Kabul International Airport. Let me just play it. All right. So yeah,
You
of course,
always,
every
you always
time
play it all the way through. Like,
all the way through. The Jay, look, are German shepherds with tags native to Afghanistan? I don't know. There were
I don't
photos
think
of Kate.
so.
I don't have the photos on him, but there were photos of basically a bunch of service dogs being left in cages in one of the hangars of the airport. And the Pentagon is denying that even happened. Of course, that's not like the main story, but is kind of just basically a symptom byproduct of this whole debacle. I mean, the fact that we have not only what hundreds of Americans that the United States left behind, whether it was by choice or they didn't have a choice, and the thousands upon thousands of Afghans who want to leave Afghanistan post Taliban takeover. The
Afghan
fact that
allies.
Afghan allies at that. I mean, the fact that there's even the interpreter who helped rescue Biden in 2008. The Wall Street Journal reports that one of the interpreters, Muhammad, they haven't given his last name, he has actually been left in Afghanistan in a remote part of the country. And actually, I'm not. Oh no, I'm sorry. He actually he rescued then Senator Joe Biden and two other senators stranded in a remote Afghan valley after their helicopter was forced to land in a snowstorm. And now Muhammad is asking President Biden to save him. And in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Muhammad said, "Hello, Mr. President, save me and my family. Don't forget me here." He's been hiding from the Taliban with his wife and 4 children, and they've basically been tangled in a web of bureaucracy to get out of Afghanistan. And I don't have the clip for it, but basically, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki thanked the interpreter for his service on Tuesday, and then said the U.S. remains committed to getting Afghan allies out of the country, saying, "quote We will get you out. We will honor your service."
But we were just told that everybody who wanted to get out got out. And what's the biggest crux of it all is we were saying that, where people were saying that, how are all of these people vetted? I don't think these are all vetted coming through and cramming into the planes. And other people call that racist. How dare you? All this kind of shit. And out of all of the people that are going through, the Pentagon itself, which I think it's much more than that, said that there's about 50,000 Afghans that got on that they have no idea about.
Yeah, I don't. And the fact that they won't be transparent about it or give us an indication about how many people are trying to get out under the pretense of this is a security concern. If we, give out an estimate, the Taliban is going to know exactly who we're talking about. So I can kind of get that concern, but you got to give us a better answer than that. I mean, the fact that we don't know how many people are stranded there. I mean, there are plenty of American families who want to know if their loved ones are okay, especially if a bunch of them are trying to get exfiltrated out of there. And unfortunately, I haven't seen many, and I guess that they haven't been broadcasting this publicly. I haven't seen many private companies or private entities, asking for people to support them and trying to get people out, I guess, because of security concerns. I mean, I know Congress is trying, I know the Senate passed a bill earlier, I think either today or yesterday, to try to get any Afghans and Americans who have been left behind out of Afghanistan. And look, I don't know what that entails, what level of support, but get them the fuck out of there. They just have to get out.
They need to. And it's really funny that they say it's in security. It's considered a security concern not to give out the numbers when they have the biometrics and the names and photographs of people that they wanted to go through to the airport. It's just really all of this stuff like I said before, it just makes no sense. They contradict themselves right after they say something, and you have the dick-faced fucking fact checkers going and fact checking, people tweeting or saying like, no, that guy didn't hang from the helicopter and stuff. And we have Jen Psaki and we have all of these people completely lying through their teeth, saying one thing and then another in the same fucking sentence, and they're nowhere to be found. Nowhere.
Yeah.
I think they're writing up like ways to say that they misspoke or some shit.
So the bill I was mentioning before that was passed by the Senate, it was passed by unanimous consent by Democratic Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland. The name of the bill is called the Emergency Repatriation Assistance for Returning Americans Act. Now, what I've heard actually is that, this is going to get signed by the president because it's already been passed by the House. And it provides temporary assistance for Americans returning from abroad. Now, again, I don't know if that's money going to help get Americans out. As far as I know, that is money that is at least helping Americans resettle back here in the United States. But that's like putting the cart before the horse, in front of the horse, because you got to get them out. You got to get them out of the country first. Got to get them out of harm's way. And
right.
Jay, there's just so many different things. We also have this exclusive report from Reuters about before the Afghan collapse. President Biden told then Afghan President Ashraf Ghani to quote unquote change the perception of what's going on. And this is apparently I don't know if history repeats itself, but this at least has a very familiar feel to it. Let me just read the report. In the last call between U.S. President Joe Biden and his Afghanistan counterpart before the Taliban seized control of the country, the leaders discussed military aid, political strategy, and messaging tactics, but neither Biden nor Ashraf Ghani appeared aware of or prepared for the immediate danger of the entire country falling to insurgents, a transcript reviewed by Reuters shows. The men spoke for roughly 14 minutes on July 23rd. On August 15th, Ghani fled the presidential palace and the Taliban entered Kabul. Since then, tens of thousands of desperate Afghans have fled and 13 U.S. troops and scores of Afghan civilians were killed in a suicide bombing at the Kabul airport during the frenetic U.S. military evacuation. Reuters reviewed the transcript of the presidential phone call and has listened to the audio to authenticate the conversation. The materials were provided on condition of anonymity, by a source who was not authorized to distribute it. Okay, so we got a leak. Are we gonna right? Separate conversation. Are we gonna prosecute this person for breaking federal law? In the call,
start impeachment process.
Yeah. We're going to get to that in a moment. In the call, Biden offered aid, and if Ghani could publicly project he had a plan to control the spiraling situation in Afghanistan. Let me read that again. In the call, Biden offered aid if Ghani could publicly project he had a plan to control the spiraling situation in Afghanistan. Okay, and we'll read the quote. Of what Biden said. He says, "We will continue to provide close air support if we know what the plan is." Days before the call, U.S. carried out airstrikes to support Afghan security forces, a move the Taliban said was in violation of the Doha peace agreement. The U.S. president also advised Ghani to get buy-in from powerful Afghans for military strategy going forward, and then to put a quote-unquote warrior in charge of the effort, a reference to Defense Minister General Bismillah Khan Mohammadi. Now, Jay,
they actually named their kids Bismillah. I mean, I have no place to say anything because my name is Mujahed, but like
that's right. It's Mujahedeen.
No, Mujahedeen. Now that Taliban fully have taken over, she's out the window.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just took me a second.
Well, I mean, I think this there's pay to play in this fucking conversation. This leak happened. I mean, we're not made publicly known about all of this discussion. They won't release the transcripts. Jen Psaki is like, I'm not going to discuss private conversation and shit. This is all a repeat of what happened under Trump with
Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine.
Yeah, over in Ukraine. And no one is calling for impeachment. No one's calling to release the transcripts. No one's calling for it. It's almost as if, Siraj, and brace yourself for this. Brace yourself. It's almost as if bitch tit Tom Nichols or fucking never Trumpers and all of these resistance people in the media were full of shit.
That sounds about right to me.
It's shocking. I know.
Actually, it's actually there's a Twitter account called Biden Voters Posting Their L's Online. It's been around. It's been around since Biden basically got sworn into office. It basically captures every single Biden voter that has had regret, posted or tweeted about their regrets for voting for Biden. Now it's coming for a lot of the never Trumpers. I think Bill Kristol was the latest one to sort of vocalize his regret for how Afghanistan happened and for supporting Biden as hard as he did. But to your point about the whole impeachment thing, it definitely hasn't reached the threshold where even Republicans are calling for it, because even Senate Republican Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said Wednesday that, and I quote, "There isn't going to be an impeachment of President Joe Biden over the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan." Obviously noting that Democrats control the House and Senate. Now, if you were in charge, I bet that rhetoric would be a bit different. I bet he would probably call for an investigation. But again, Republicans can't call the shots because they're not in power. But it does help their fundraising. They could use this towards trying to recapture the House and Senate in 2022. And in all honesty, I think there are a number of things that are going to happen going forward that will make the Republican case for controlling the House and Senate stronger. And I think nothing has been more helpful for them than this whole with Afghanistan withdrawal and the debacle. But at the same time, I think I recall seeing a crooked media guy, I think it was Brian Butler. Buttlicker is a great last name. Yeah, it sounds like your kind of guy. Anyways, I was just gonna say that he tweeted something along the lines right after the terrorist attack last week in Kabul that killed 13 U.S. service members, that Republicans were cheering for this, that they were cheering Biden's failure. But most of all, they were cheering the fact that this death and destruction would cause political harm to Biden, which, unless you're completely deranged or sick, I haven't really seen many people do that. People who are actually rational, anti-Biden critics cheering this on. I feel like everybody, regardless of your politics, was hit pretty hard by this, and it was very, emotions were raw, and a lot of people probably acted out in ways that they shouldn't have. But that happens with almost everything that happens in the news. But that seems like a complete misreading of the situation.
Right. And I think they do it on purpose. People like that do it on purpose to try and, lessen the hit of what is actually going on, because it's really funny. I mean, we had a guest on not a while ago, but they don't. I feel like they're not reading the situation properly when it comes to what's happening. Yes, with getting out of Afghanistan is hugely popular, but the way we got out and the images that we saw and how there was little to no planning, and this phone call coming out as well to stating either you do what we say or we're going to take away air support and stuff like that. It's really showing that there was a complete breakdown in planning, in competence, from A to Z in getting our troops out. And the fact that we kept on having Biden come out, not answer any questions, and then just walk off, deteriorated that like deteriorated what people respected of Biden or expected of Biden, and other people can't seem to acknowledge that fact, especially the Jen Rubins and the Buttlickers.
It's almost like a badge of honor to be called a buttlicker at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a very strange report. I don't know if you saw this, but an Oklahoma congressman, the GOP congressman, Mark Wayne Mullen,
Right.
actually, I don't know, things have developed. The initial report was that he was in Afghanistan and that U.S. officials couldn't find him at all. And first of all, like, if that's true, he's fucking crazy. Apparently, Mullen, after reported evacuation efforts, says he is heading home because he could not actually get into the country. And he tried twice to get in, even according to reports, threatening embassy staff to get in. Now, Jay, I don't know what he could have said that would elicit that type of headline. We don't know exactly what he said. Maybe it's all fake news. There's still a lot of information that has been coming out about this. First of all, I applaud people trying to get others out of Afghanistan who want to get out. But traveling there yourself, if you're not, I mean, I don't know Mark Wayne Mullen's background, so to speak. But I feel like it's kind of a dumb move to use those resources that could be used for evacuating and exfiltrating Americans and Afghan allies to using that to get, I don't know. Jay, am I missing something here?
No, I think you're totally right. And there's been a lot of different kind of like charity organizations set up in order to help this. And if he was doing it in that route or doing it in that way, I would consider it a little different. But he did it presumably like by himself as a congressman going out there.
Yeah, like in his own capacity, not like an official capacity.
Right. And it's just, I mean, I understand he wanted to do it so he doesn't like that, so he doesn't cause any resources to be taken away from what's going on. But him getting lost over there, not being able to get in, caused for more resources to be lost than should have been. And I think unless you have like a proper plan in place or you have really good organizers around you doing this, then you should go ahead and try it. But just taking a plane ride and going over there to see what you can do, I think it's
like, don't be a fucking hero. Yeah, I mean, like,
right.
Like, I feel like this is the I know. Look, what separates Americans from a lot of people from the rest of the world is that we'll go out of our way to help people, but sometimes we do it recklessly without thinking of a proper strategy. And I don't think Mark Wayne Mullen was all too bright in getting this shit tried, or at least
100%
operate this essentially. Andrew Maloney, thank you, with the super chat, says CFT Financial Times report France began evacuations in May. Just spent 2 weeks in Spain with fam. Admin seems to be way underestimating your own backlash to this. Yeah, I just actually pulled that up. Apparently they took the threat a little bit more seriously, seeing as how they started evacuating Afghans that worked with the French at least 3 months before Kabul fell. And yeah, there's still a lot more information that's going to come out, but apparently officials said that 623 people were flown to France in the weeks before Afghan army collapsed, and after evacuations came in, and the 800 additional Afghans and their relatives had already been moved to Paris. So, I don't know what to really make of that. I think, Jay, there's I think Josh actually sent this link. I want to share it right here because before I couldn't figure out exactly where people could help out, and Josh came through, and he
sent it over on Rumble Rants.
Yeah, digitaldunkirk.com. Digitaldunkirk.com. That's where you can go try to learn about how you can help those who are trying to get out of Afghanistan. I recommend everybody go check it out, learn more information about it. And if you're able to donate, donate what you can. I mean, even spreading the word of awareness is enough to help. Jay, this whole thing is such a fucking disaster. And you know, in 10 days, 9/11, the 20th anniversary will be here, and the Taliban will be controlling the Afghan government once again. And like everything just feels like a fucking kick to the balls,
Right?
Or a I can't say it.
Well, not with what we're talking about, but
a see you next Tuesday punt.
Right. And it's really sad because Al Qaeda is back, the Taliban is back, and it was really, really insane the way the media will allow Biden to say shit like saying that we've taken out Al Qaeda, they're gone. Like all of that stuff is what we went there to do is what we went there to do, and then literally 2 days later, you see one of the main Al Qaeda figures as an official for the Taliban running Afghanistan. Literally 2 days later after he said that. It's so hard to trust what is coming out of this administration, especially with what happened in Afghanistan. If they're going to lie about this, what else are they lying about?
Yeah, so here's another report from the Wall Street Journal, tweeted by Vivian Salama, who's a national security reporter with the Journal. Tweeting out, the U.S. has left behind the majority of Afghan allies who had applied for visas to escape reprisal from the Taliban, despite fraught efforts to evacuate those at risk in the final 2 weeks of the mission. So we didn't just leave behind hundreds of Americans. We left a majority of our allies there. And Jennifer Rubin wants to tweet out, oh, we got 100,000 people out there. Jen Psaki wants to say this is the most successful airlift in the history of airlifts. And they're lying straight to our faces. Straight up.
They absolutely are. And I said, if we leave one American behind, it's a failure. We have any deaths, it's a failure. And them just touting that we evacuated 130,000 people, more than 50,000 of them unvetted, and I would wager that more than half of those aren't really even people that were needed to get out or promised to get out because of the clusterfuck that happened.
And it gets even weirder when you recall that people like Ann Coulter, of all people, who is Jay, I don't know how to even put this into words. We have Ann Coulter tweeting out, "Thank you, President Biden, for keeping a promise Trump made, but then abandoned when he got to office." Jay, is Ann Coulter becoming Jennifer Rubin 2.0?
I think she's just really hurt from writing a stupid book that she wrote and then getting slapped in the fucking face with Trump's dick. I think that's what happened, and she got really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, she was smart in the beginning by saying that Donald Trump had the best chance of winning in like 2015, and like I recall, she said that on Bill Maher, and everybody was laughing at her like she was crazy. I remember Joy Reid's face like dropping and just being like, there's no way that he could win. And like, sure enough, Ann Coulter was right. And I think, I can't remember the name of her book that she wrote basically in support of Trump, but it was like, she was so gung-ho about Trump before he got to become president, and then experienced like, she was the original Trump voter posting their L's online. She had of any person, like there's Joe Walsh, there's Ann Coulter. I don't know who else off the top of my head is like just been like so disappointed by Trump, but no one comes to mind first before Ann Coulter. Like she is the original Trump voter posting their L online.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And very loudly too. It's almost
Yeah.
like she's very honored to do it in the very beginning on how wrong she felt and how she feels so wronged by Trump right now.
Yeah.
So she's tweeting shit out that you would almost mistake for Jen Rubin.
Abe Eckstein, thank you, says Damon Toll. You can have Ann Coulter on your team. Get wrecked, Brooklyn Dad.
Yeah, go chug another mayonnaise.
So sort of moving on here. Oh, guess who it is? Oh my God, Jay.
No way.
Uh-oh.
No way. Is he there?
Oh my
Is
God.
he there?
Oh my God.
Let's see him. Where is he?
God.
We brought this back.
Oh my God. Look who's here.
Our Sheikh, our king,
Oh my God.
Mr. Earn.
Mr. Earn. Welcome, buddy. Let's get this tit
Habibi.
down. There we go. Habibis. Welcome back to
Down
the show,
in Florida. Welcome to Florida. Look
Florida
at him.
Earn. He is here. Our president. Our rightfully elected president.
Our caliphate, our king, our sheikh.
Good boy. Yes. Where's his crown? It's probably Halloween's right around the corner. He's about to get that crown, and he's gonna get some salt licks while he's at it.
Let's do it.
So let's switch off to something lighter, Jay. Because I'm sorry, let's switch off to something darker because the women of Texas are now being treated worse than the women of Afghanistan after Texas passed a law that basically faced the midnight deadline on, I want to say, was it Tuesday, August 31st at 11:59 p.m. The Supreme Court basically passed on trying to stop the Texas abortion law from going into effect. Now, this ban or this law bans most abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. To read from the Washington Post, it says the court could still grant a request from abortion providers to halt the law, which they say is one of the nation's most restrictive. But for now, abortion providers in Texas, including Planned Parenthood and Whole Woman's Health, said they will no longer terminate pregnancies more than 6 weeks from a woman's last period. Now, Jay, I know it's been a week since you've actually been a woman as Mujahedina. Tell me your thoughts. How are you feeling about this?
Honestly, I don't know how you can be a woman and live in Texas anymore. It's
might as well go to
insane.
Afghanistan.
Right. I mean, holy shit. In Sharia law, you can actually have an abortion whenever you want. In like 12 weeks?
So it's not
Sharia
whenever you
law,
want. So in Sharia law, there is actually no I've explained this before. I've written about it because in Alabama, everyone on the left was trying to compare this to Sharia law, and it's simply not the case. I will say that this abortion ban is more restrictive than Sharia law, but to make it about Islam when it's not, it's completely shooting yourself in the foot. You're basically handing a gift to the pro-life movement because not only are you coping this hard, but you're also coming off as extremely Islamophobic.
right. And it's really funny because there's a lot in Sharia law that is really harsh on women and women's rights, and they want to pretend that this one aspect of what the Texas law is doing makes it worse than Sharia law for women.
Yeah.
And you have people like I don't know, Amy something posting
Amy Siskind. I got it. Yeah.
Posting a political cartoon showcasing like how like Afghan women are more sorry for women in Texas. And I find this very insulting, especially for the plight and the oppression that the women in Taliban are going to be facing. Women in Afghanistan are going to be facing under the Taliban.
Right.
It shows their complete lack of understanding of what happens in the world outside of what is in front of their fucking faces. And they want to pretend like they are the most oppressed people in the world, especially white liberals. They're the most that want to come out and say that they're the most oppressed people in the United States of America. And it's just so sickening. It's absolutely fucking sick.
Never underestimate the power of a white liberal woman to make everything about herself, Jay. Essentially.
100%. God damn it. You saw me take a sip.
Yeah, I said it because you taking a drink.
You do it on purpose. You do it on purpose.
Well, like you didn't have to drink. That could have been your drink right there. But anyways, this was the cartoon Amy Siskin posted saying, "Sigh, hashtag Texas Taliban." And there are two women in niqab saying, "Pray for Texas women." Fuck out of here. It gets worse too, Jay, because then you have Dolly Parton's sister, Stella Parton, who today, Jay, I just learned that Dolly Parton has a sister named Stella, and she's a blue check, saying, "Don't you find it odd that women in America are being treated worse than women in Afghanistan? We wasted $2 trillion plus to go into Afghanistan to liberate their women and children. Something ain't right here, folks. Are you catching on yet?" It's just
dumb. It's so dumb.
So dumb. And it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse because then she tweets out, "I also find it odd that not one of the people I just blocked, i.e. me, had one thing to say in defense of women right here at home and our damn rights. Not one. They were all males, by the way." Whoa. Jay, if you dunked on her, that's obviously not the case since you are also Mujahideen. But look, she could tweet this shit out. She could tweet this shitty take out, and I tweet it right here. You can see in the top right corner of your screen. "In defense of women here in the U.S., you can tweet your shitty take without being beaten or stoned to death by those running the government." Stella Parton.
Yeah, you know who she reminds me of?
Who's
that? Joy Reid. Like the absolute fucking insanity. I mean, when you look at Joy Reid and listen to what she has to say, she's fucking insane, and she's tweeting the same shit too. You can see it on her fucking Twitter feed. And when I see an insane take, I like to go to Joy Reid's Twitter feed to see if she's come up with something either on the same level or more insane. And I've never, not once, have ever been disappointed going onto her feed. Never.
Abex Sign says, "Siraj, you missed the fatality." Oh, Jesus, I missed it. Faye writes, "Why are people asking Siraj about Sharia law on abortion? He has no need for that info. That would imply he has a chance of knocking someone up."
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Oh my God. Oh man. Look, Jay. Nah, she tweaking. She tweaking right now.
She tweaking.
So Jay, look, this is one of those things where I actually, and I haven't really vocalized my take on this on Twitter because Twitter's not really a place for nuance. I was just dunking on people because shit posting is way better than, giving actual serious opinion.
Right.
I actually try to follow, in this case, I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion one way or another when it comes to abortion. So I just kind of defer to what Islamic teachings are on it. And that when it comes to when the soul is supposedly breathed into the life of a fetus, or you have gestation, that happens at 4 months of after the first trimester of pregnancy. So that's where I would draw the line. Of course, I always take into account rape, incest, and to protect the life of the pregnant woman. So that is probably my most liberal take. That is my most liberal opinion. A lot of pro-life people will probably hate me for it, but look, I'm somewhat indifferent to it one way or the other. So if it's about having reproductive freedom for women who are very pro-choice, all I have to say is, why does reproductive freedom mean terminating a pregnancy? Like, why is that specifically the go-to? It's not about birth control. Like, get access to birth control, get access to all the birth control you want, make it easier to not have have the conception happen. But still,
all they
like,
need is that poster of you on the wall, and
that
that's
poster of
100%
me.
effective.
Yeah,
That's 100% effective.
essentially 100% effective
Birth control.
birth control, yeah, of me with a clean shaven face. Yeah, Hobby says, to be fair, Siraj, you only use locals to have your raw and unfiltered takes.
Everything else is condom.
Oh.
You're welcome.
You mean
You're
I
welcome,
can't?
Habibi.
Oh God, I'm such an incel. I couldn't even get that.
No, I know it's fucking hilarious. I have more of a conservative take on when it comes to a baby in the womb. I mean, of course, when it comes to the life of the mother or rape or incest and stuff like that, I'm on your side.
No, thank you, Nate BB. I was sorry. He says, have the conception happen. You mean fertilization? Yes, I do. Sorry, guys. I am not great with words. And Ernie's here.
You and me both, Habibi.
Ern takes most of my Ern has most of the brain power. Let's be honest.
Is Siraj a little tipsy? No, he's not, because he only drank like what, a quarter of a beer.
I only drink water.
Yeah, well, that is water right there. Well, a little bit more like piss, but that's true, also some water.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
But Jay, I want to get your take on this, because this is you don't really follow. I mean, yeah, you're born Muslim, but like, you're not really. You probably claim to be an atheist, and
until my dad comes over.
Until your dad comes over, in which you pray 5 namaz, five prayers per day, son.
I fast during Ramadan, go to Friday prayer, like the whole shebang.
Yeah, and you say inshallah, inshallah every other sentence. I get it. Inshallah. Alhamdulillah. So Jay, I want to get your take on this, because obviously there's been a lot of just like screeching. I saw Joyce Vance White tweet out one of the most insane takes from today. Let me see if I could get that real quick, because it just goes beyond the pale of how people actually think. And I don't know if she left it up. We'll see if she left it up.
She probably did. I mean, because when you're pro-abortion and pro-abortion to the extreme, you're more celebrated than you are condemned, and it's a complete lie.
She deleted it.
She did? Oh shit!
Oh, it's time to list it right now. I'm gonna get it right now. Just give me a moment.
Oh, you do have the screenshot?
Yeah, just go ahead and
No, I just think that when you give these people an inch, they will take a complete mile when it comes to it. That rare, safe, and rare and accessible lie that they wanted to completely state when it came to abortion is what won people over, and they ran with it to the extreme. I feel like abortion now is more a business where people can make money and line the pockets to then direct into the pockets of Democrats and their campaigns and politicians and stuff. It's not really about women's health. It's not about women's freedom. They are free to have to take as many measured steps as possible for contraception, and also to terminate the pregnancy before there's an actual life or baby being formed within the baby, within the womb.
The only thing I'm concerned about is because obviously I'm no woman, and I don't know the female anatomy, because obviously I've never been around a female.
For sure.
Essentially,
known. I mean, look at the shirt.
Yeah, I mean, look at the shirt. Jay, is 6 weeks cutting it really close though? I mean, I feel like that's cutting it really, really close.
I mean, it could for a certain extent. Yeah, I think it is too. I think there is a debate to be made on when is a good cutoff period to terminate a baby for a person to think about it. But I mean, like I just don't understand like how irresponsible you have to be to let it get that far when it comes to it. And people want to talk about, poor and communities that don't have a lot of access to a lot of stuff. These are the communities that mostly use abortion, and that is by design. It's not like it wasn't the very idea of abortion and Planned Parenthood and all of that was created by a person pushing eugenics, and eugenics in a very racist manner and racist way.
Was that
And I
Margaret
think
Salinger?
yes,
Yeah.
and the more you see, and the more the statistics come out and stuff, there's always the poor minority groups that are doing it more and more because we have a very sick mentality and I think understanding of family and abortion and all of that kind of stuff that's being fed to these like poor communities and minority communities and stuff, and not really a proper upbringing and understanding on what all of these things mean.
So I
And
messed up. It's Sanger.
Sanger.
Margaret Sanger. And then here comes Ryan. All right, what's up? Sanger be racist.
Yes.
And I
Sanger be racist.
screwed up her name. Although, should I really feel bad about screwing up her name? She was promoting eugenics. Anyways,
Not really.
I don't know if you could see this tweet. It's a little bit small, but I'll read it out for you. It's Joyce Aline who tweets at Joyce White Vance. Let me just read the whole thread. She tweets out, "Abortion and the right to control one's own body once galvanized a generation of women, and it will happen again. But my heart breaks for the girls and women who will suffer along the way." And then here comes the nuke. She tweets out, "And while this may be a bad hot take in a moment of anger that the courts failed us, it feels like there's now a bounty on women's heads, just like there used to be on escaped slaves."
Oh
And
my
then
God.
she follows up by writing, "I acknowledge that it's a bad take in the sense that there is no comparison to slavery, but the bounty provision is particularly alarming in what it says about who has control over women's lives. So no offense meant here." And of course,
It's
she just
amazing.
got the wrath of basically everyone on Twitter for that.
Right. But it was like what we were stating, where how white liberal women need to make themselves look like the real victims. I mean, they'll even bring in slavery for fuck's sake
I know.
to try to victimize themselves.
I mean, and I said this on the group chat with Ben and Spencer and you before I fired both of them, that why couldn't it be the main criticism 6 weeks, that's cutting it a little bit too close. It seems a bit unreasonable. No, they got to go for the biggest reach possible, and that is slavery. This is worse than women in being treated in Afghanistan. Like, none of these arguments are helping you. And the fact that, and Jay, look, I haven't even gotten into what my actual take is on all this. How over the last maybe 5 or 6 years, there's been a lot of discussion about flipping Texas blue, and you have Calexit, you have the exodus from all the people leaving California because of the state, I mean, you live in California. How everything just sucks there. The policies suck, and everybody is leaving California. They're going out east. They're going to Colorado. They're going to Arizona. They're going to Texas, and they think they can flip Texas blue. Just a massive influx of both Republicans and Democrats, but a lot of Democrats too. I think deep down, and this is not the primary motive behind this particular piece of legislation or this law. I think it's I think it's an effort in a way to make sure that Texas stays red, because you're already hearing of boycotts for Texas. You're hearing of people say, if you live in Texas, or like if you've been investing in Texas, stop spending your money. Don't travel to Texas. Don't live in Texas. Don't relocate to Texas. Leave Texas. And if there's any way to get Democrats and the libs at large, or people on the left, to like ensure that they never turn Texas blue, it's to do this, because the amount of backlash that Texas is receiving would normally cripple a state. But for Texas, I feel like this was kind of the end game here. I don't know. What do you think about that? Is that too tinfoil hatty?
A little, but I mean, the way that we love Alex Jones and wish that he was still, as online as he used to be, we're trying to fill his shoes. No, I'm just playing. No, I think it's a legit take. I honestly do, because there is a lot of fear that all of these people moving out of California, moving out of these blue states, are taking their politics with them, and and honestly, I think it's a very real fear onto it, because these people who moved out of California are fucking stupid. They go to Texas, and they go to Florida, and they go to these red states and vote in a manner that makes the reason why they left California in the first place. It's really a fucking insane thing to see. And to your point, whenever people bring up things that sound conspiratorial and sound kind of like freakish and stuff, they always turn out to be true one way or another. They really do. And we see this coming out time and time and again. And I just hope that Texas holds in the way that it should, and convinces people to see the different way of what they were seeing. And hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, but maybe this really is a deterrent for people to either leave Texas or not move to Texas.
Jay, I'm just really looking forward to like some of the corporate backlash to Texas. And you're going to see it from sports leagues. You're going to see it from, thank God the MLB doesn't have an all-star game there, because, of course, they would lose that shit in a heartbeat. You see, I'm wearing short shorts. That's right, Jay.
Do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in Florida now. I mean, there's no rules. There's no rules now. You're in Florida. No rules
in Florida. This is the land of the free, baby.
Absolutely. And it would be really funny if the NFL comes out and talks about women's rights when they do nothing about their players beating the shit out of their girlfriends and wives.
It's going to I mean, of course it's going to
It's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen.
Andrew Maloney says hysterics with Texas. Oh, God damn it, Jay.
I didn't do anything.
I'm going to blame Spencer for this. You're fired.
Yeah,
Spencer.
we have to fire Spencer now.
He says, Andrew Maloney, thank you, says hysterics with Texas heartbeat law passed by literal process of democracy reveals things libs like equals democracy minus things libs don't like equals fascism. Exactly. Like it's how. Also, Jay, I feel a part of me feels like, and I don't know exactly when this law was passed, but the fact that it was implemented, part of me feels like this is almost like revenge or karma for, I wouldn't call it karma. I'd probably say Republican revenge against the Democrats who fled the Texas legislature during the special session for Washington, D.C. and basically created a super spreader event in D.C.
Right. And I don't want to like go off topic, but isn't it amazing how that wasn't called a super spreader event? How people in the media didn't like go over how this is grandmother killers and all that kind of stuff all over again. I mean, it's like I say from the very, very, like what I say during the Trump administration, you saw media people go up to 11 on certain aspects of stuff. And now during here in Biden's administration, they're very mellow. It's just showcasing that they're always full of shit. Sorry, I hate journalists and I hate the media. But
I know
I do.
Hold on
I
one
do
second.
think. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Damon says Siraj can wear short shorts because there's no risk that anything might peek out.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true.
LDC, little dick click. Let's go.
I mean, they say 4 inches is enough, right?
Nah, 2 inches.
No.
There's that
it's 4
TikTok. I
inches.
think about that TikTok.
Let's fucking go! And I just wanna like do a stitch with it and just be like, 2 inches is still not enough, and just like cry about it or something. Like that would just be hilarious. But somebody else's point, which is fucking hilarious, is that CNN's champion over this is Tubin.
Oh yeah, what the fuck, man? I didn't even watch any of his segments of it, but like,
but whenever this subject comes up, they bring him right on.
Right, because he's supposed to be some sort of legal analyst.
As long as he's your friend and that's your daughter, then yeah, he would be an analyst.
An anal assist. No, there was what's it called? What did Jeffrey Toobin tweet where the joke's basically just right? Oh, here we go. Let me show you. He tweeted out on June 27, 2018, Anthony Kennedy is retiring. Abortion will be illegal in 20 states in 18 months. Hashtag SCOTUS. And then he tweeted out today, I was premature by a few months. Jay.
That's I think that's his whole life story on Zoom and in his in one of his friend's daughters.
Just terrible. Real quick.
But to give you backstory on this guy is that he impregnated his friend's daughter,
his coworker's daughter, right?
And tried to pressure her into getting an abortion to take his name off, and he refused to pay child support. And this is the guy they have on to champion women's rights, to say that it is against women's rights for not having abortion or have an abortion whenever they want and stuff like that.
Jeffrey Toobin is the biggest piece of shit in media, and I don't even understand why he has a job at CNN. He is the least deserving person. And the fact that he is even, like, if you are involved in something like this, like Jeffrey Toobin, you do not have the moral authority to speak on that particular subject.
Absolutely 100%.
Essentially. So, with that being said, Jay, there's been a lot of COVID news over today. I mean, Joe Rogan tested positive for COVID, and people are dunking on him. He's been vaccinated. People are dunking on him because they think he's been dismissive of COVID. What he said was that if you are healthy and in good shape, that you won't really have much to worry about with COVID. Right. And then I see Oliver Darcy tweeting out something along the lines of, let me find this. Because this is going to drive me nuts if I don't get the exact quote right.
No, get it. It's fucking insane. It really is. And to me, it's more that these fuckers are really pissed off that he's not for vaccine passports or like huge vaccine restrictions. Fucking dumb fucks.
So Oliver Darcy tweets out Rogan, who questioned earlier this year whether young people should get vaccinated, says he took ivermectin, the anti-parasitic drug commonly used for livestock. Hard to underscore how many people follow Rogan's advice. And then he goes on to saying, worth noting, Rogan had basically said that if you're a healthy person who exercises all the time, you should not worry about COVID. But after he says he tested positive, he threw the quote-unquote kitchen sink at the virus. If it's nothing to worry about, then why do that? Well, I mean, with these breakthrough cases, Jay, and you're vaccinated, maybe Joe Rogan's just not a healthy guy. I don't know.
No, but the thing is, what's really funny is like I took vitamins. Like when you get a cold, what the fuck do? You go and get vitamin C, even though it's a little too late because vitamin C is to help prevent it. But this ivermectin stuff, these people want to they come after people who want to and they want to like portray them as liars, as like fucking dumb fucking people or fucking crazy people, when they have to lie themselves over this stuff. Ivermectin has been used by human beings for fucking God knows how long and been tested and approved and stuff. So they want to latch on this little fucking thing that is true, but they want to misrepresent it for their fucking narrative. And this is why people fucking hate, despise, fucking see journalists as absolute garbage. No offense, Siraj. But but people like Darcy, people like Oliver Darcy are like absolute fucking scum. Their face just has scum written all over it. It's like a tattoo that Allah made on their forehead to let you know that these people are fucking scum. That's what Oliver Darcy looks like. And the fact that they have to lie for their narrative just shows how disgusting they are.
What drives me up the fucking wall is the fact that people call it horse medicine. Yes, it is horse medicine, but it is also medicine for humans. Like, they are only saying this to drive some sort of wedge between. I mean, it's an FDA-approved anti-parasitic agent, just like how hydroxychloroquine is all about treating malaria, or at least used as a preventative measure to treat malaria, just like people have been using it for COVID. Huh?
Or in fish tanks. What was her name? The woman who was like trying to kill her husband.
Yeah.
And then
it's not approved again. So these aren't approved for treating COVID, as Zachary Wilson points out. And yes, that is true. They are not approved for treating COVID. But if there have been studies shown that doctors that they have seen more success in patients who have been taking it, are we just going to ignore that science? Is that junk science?
It's whatever prefers narrative it is. And like what Faye was saying here is that Israel is using it dating back to 2020, but the only people reporting it were Jewish publications. And Faye, if you can post or send over any of the links to it, that would be great. And I honestly I know this is going to sound a little conspiratorial because I'm going to put on the hat myself as well.
Yes,
but the lizard people are no. What it is like I feel that these people, because Joe Rogan has come out against vaccine passports and stuff like that very, very hard. So you have a lot of these liberals, and when you say liberals, a lot of them are journalists, and they want to push these narratives and they want to push these agendas. And the fact that he comes out against what their preferred narrative is and what their preferred agenda is, they want to come out hard against him. And you can almost hear and see the disappointment in their faces when he's perfectly fine after 3 days.
Who is this again?
You know what I mean? Like Oliver Darcy, all of these. No.
I meant like who's gotten better, you mean?
Joe Rogan. He got better after 3 days. Yeah, he said he's much better after 3 days.
The same thing happened with what's his name? With Texas Governor Greg Abbott. You know, people were like upset that he actually survived. Like, come on, guys, stop fucking doing that. And like Jesse Jackson and his wife got COVID as well, and they got hospitalized. And I actually saw, in addition to myself, there are a lot of conservatives who are actually tweeting out their prayers for them, despite the fact that they disagree with them basically on everything politically. Mm-hmm. You don't see that happen much on the left. No, you see a lot of people getting dunked on from the left.
They get giddy.
Yeah, they get like actively, they like cheerlead their death. They dance on their graves. It's very fun. It's very sick. But
it's like what Shu posted.
Huh?
I was gonna say it was like what Shu posted the other day. It's like, oh no, this person died and leaving 3 kids who hosted an anti-vax rally, and then journalists is like, ha, fuck you, you died. And it's like, God, like the ghoulishness of it
Yeah.
is apparent. Like people see it.
Yeah, it's really sad. And Jay, I'm gonna put a little bit more tinfoil hat. Let's put the tinfoil cap on. Okay, Jay. I think, and this is gonna sound, it might sound very reasonable, or it might sound completely off the grid insane. Okay.
Let's hear it.
I think that members of the media, that people on the left, and anyone who buys into those narratives are specifically railing against any remedies against COVID that haven't been FDA approved, like hydroxychloroquine, like monoclonal antibodies, like ivermectin, because they want to prolong the pandemic. They want more human suffering. They want more people to be relying on the federal government for their assistance. Yes. They want to use that to advance whatever agenda they have. And I think, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Ilhan Omar, who tweeted something along the lines of, and I'm pulling it up right now, because it almost like she basically spilled the beans on it the entire time. As I was reading it, I thought, yeah, that's the pandemic's never going to end. And let me find, God, I don't know if I'm ever going to find this fucking tweet. But it was something along the lines of like, extend, what was it? Maybe it was from her other Twitter. Why can't I fucking think of it? It's truly driving me insane. Maybe she deleted it. But it was like, don't ever stop the don't ever stop the eviction moratorium. Like, keep the aid coming until the pandemic is over. And it's just like, yeah, you're gonna do everything you can to fucking prolong that.
Yeah, and you see it with the Delta variant. You see it with fucking that snake Fauci coming on all the time saying like, no, even vaccine people, that you need to be masked. Don't be masked. You have to be masked. Masks don't work. Masks have to be, even if you're vaccinated, you can't be outside. You have to stay in. We need another 14 days to stop the thread, and we're in like day 695.
I don't know.
Which is 69.5, which is nice.
Nice. Faye brings up a very good point. Let's be honest. Trump was old, fat, and in bad shape. Actually, he was the healthiest, most fit president in the history of mankind. Faye, take that back. When he got COVID,
thick booty.
Yo, we had the thickest president, and nobody dared appreciate it. I mean, until this guy became president, of course. Sorry, Aaron.
It hurts me.
Anyways, Faye tweets out, let's be honest, not tweets, she writes, let's be honest, Trump was old, fat, and in bad shape when he got COVID. If medication healed him so quickly, why not get that stuff out there for everybody? I know, right? So what are the 8 drugs that Trump took that for his COVID-19 treatment? He got dexamethasone, he got remdesivir, he got Regeneron's monoclonal antibody, he got zinc, vitamin D, famotidine, melatonin, and aspirin. All right, so no ivermectin, even though ivermectin is like it's had some antiviral effects on single-strand mRNA viruses, which COVID-19 is. And Faye, great point. I mean, get that shit out there. And the fact that most people are not, the fact that people are getting dunked on for promoting that stuff, like if it helps someone like Trump, who is over 70, who is in a high-risk category for having comorbidities like being morbidly obese. And Faye also says, I'm convinced he got ivermectin too. I'm sure he did. There's a very good chance he did. And the fact that people aren't talking about it more often kind of defeats the purpose of getting past this pandemic, does it not?
You know why? There's another theory to it too.
What's that?
Now we got more booster shots coming. People need to, now you're not vaccinated until you get 3 shots.
Yeah.
Now you're going to need a booster shot every year. And what is that going to do? What are
can't-
these
yeah.
shots going to do but line the pockets of big pharma?
Yeah, and Josh Perkins over on Rumble says Africa has some of the lowest cases and deaths from COVID. They take the anti-malarial medicine there like candy, which is hydroxychloroquine. So, yeah, I mean that may be the case. I haven't actually seen the numbers coming out of Africa, but no one ever really talks about how there's a COVID outbreak in any country in Africa.
Right. It's all India, Europe, and here in the United States. They don't even talk about China because China doesn't really post their fucking numbers as much as they should. But honestly, you and me, man, I think we cracked the case. I think the FBI is going to be coming over to our homes here in a little bit because we completely showcased
I think I just got
that big pharma.
I think I just got a text from the FBI saying delete this shit right now. Asav 369 says DeSantis got dunked on for setting up monoclonal antibody, and Fauci recommended it 2 weeks later. Yeah, like everything is fucking political. There's no even the whole thing with the protests in the summer of 2020 and the fact that people were calling, public health experts saying, racism actually is a public health crisis. Yeah, it very well could be a public health crisis, but are you going to say this shit in the middle of a pandemic for a virus we have no idea how deadly it really is? It's just, and again, there's another thing going that's flown in about in the NFL. There have been a number of cuts. They've had their roster cuts before really before the season starts. The New England Patriots cut Cam Newton, who got COVID in the fall of 2020. And then I think he may have gone through protocol again in the last week or so. And people have been speculating whether that actually had to do with him getting cut and allowing Mac Jones to start. And Bill Belichick was actually asked about this in particular. Let me play that clip for you right here.
Got the vaccine, you got the vaccine, they got the vaccine, we got the vaccine. We can get back to normal, let me inform you, let's all get the vaccine. It's about community immunity. I'm talking unity for you and me. If Doc says it's good, then trust me, it's good. Now let's all get the vaccine. Alright, there is none higher. DMC, I will inspire. Time for us to trust and not debate. The vaccine, believe it's safe to take. 9 out of 10 people won't get sick. That's 90% effective and legit. This COVID thing is real and it will find you. It's killing our people, let me remind you. Back in the days, there was polio, smallpox, back in the days. Measles and mumps, man, back in the days. But because of the vaccines, none of those days. Vaccines, they work to trigger immunity. 2 shots, we got antibody security. We gotta act now, no need to wait. Get your vaccine before it's too late, for real.
It's beautiful. Can't ever have an episode without it.
Nope.
Faye says
for the new Rumble BBs, get used to it.
Get used to it. Faye writes, I don't know what's happened to me, but I don't mind the song any longer. It makes me nostalgic for a better time. Oh man.
Too good.
Well, our president is back.
Good.
That's he's gonna rescue us out of this. No, but seriously, Jay, I mean, you know this with even things that we just buy from, say, computers to TVs to cell phones. Like everything has a shelf life. And it's almost like they designed this stuff to have a shorter shelf life to make sure that people buy more of it. So if the incentive is to get more people to buy, say, a particular drug or vaccine or get involved in something, why would you make it so that it protects you forever? They never want to have that. They want to have control over you all the time.
They do. They see people. Oh.
Here comes Cam Newton saying, "What's going on, the BBs? I'm joining locals. Why? Well, I want to give you some of my raw, unfiltered thoughts I can't share anywhere else." Thank you, Cam Newton. We'll miss you on the New England Patriots.
Do you know what you and Cam have in common? They're both unemployed. I couldn't keep it in. I'm sorry. That was just so good. I gotta tweet that out right now. I gotta tweet it out. I gotta tweet it out right now.
And you know, Jay, if I didn't have Ernie in my lap licking my hand, I'd be very, very upset right now. But I'm not, so go fuck yourself. So before we get to our favorite segment, and that is but hold on, Chris has something here. Says, I hate that damn song. I hate it so much. I would spend $5 to tell you about it. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Now, Jay, you know, this is actually on a more serious note. We actually have something from Mary, who actually sent us something. Now, we love Mary. Mary is Jay's mom, for those who aren't aware. Mary is incredible, and we are doing this not because she asked us to, but because we feel it's obviously a very important issue. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. It is a month to honor the children battling cancer, those whose lives have been taken far too soon, the families who love them, and the caregivers, clinicians, and researchers who are working so hard to conquer childhood cancer. So tonight we are honoring, and if I could share this real quick, we have Isabella Henderson. Now, Isabella Henderson died on October 12th of 2020 from alveolar rhabdomyosarcoma at the tender age of 10. And now this month is also a time to highlight the need for the country to make childhood cancer a national priority. Nearly 2,000 children in the U.S. die every year and still only get 4% of federal funding for researching all types and subtypes of childhood cancer. It's not enough, and it's not fair. Children are still being subjected to treatments designed for adults. Cancer in children is different from cancer in adults. Some of the unwanted side effects of cancer treatments cause more harm to children than they do to adults. This is because children's bodies are still growing and developing. So cancer and its treatments are more likely to affect developing organs. This leads to long-term effects over 94% of children after cancer treatments. Supporting legislative initiatives is one of the best ways to get involved. It is something everyone can do. It's also very, for the most part, bipartisan. So through this month, we'll be highlighting some of these initiatives for the Habibis to support and share. Now, the Gabriella Miller Kids First Research Act 2.0 is a bill that would expand funding for childhood diseases. It's a brilliant piece of legislation that redirects penalties against pharmaceutical, cosmetic, supplement, and medical device companies by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for violating the Foreign Corrupt Practice Act towards the Kids First program. Now, to find out more, we'll include a link in the description of this video. It's 4sqclobberscancer.com. Now, one of the things I also want to highlight here, Jay, is that as we were talking about the pharmaceutical companies, in particular when it comes to drugs and medication, the reason why there isn't a whole lot of money, the reason why there isn't a whole lot of attention paid towards childhood cancer in general is because it doesn't make a whole lot of money for pharmaceutical companies. And that is obviously terrible. Now, we all know the case of Andrew Kaczynski and his wife Rachel Ensign, their little beans. I think that's been very prominent on Twitter over the last 10 months. They lost their baby girl, Francesca, otherwise known as Beans, on Christmas Eve of last year. It's heartbreaking, terrible. She had a brain tumor. It quickly spread, and it's really sad stuff. And I obviously don't like to get into the heavy stuff right now. And but those are the things that, like, you know, if you start to learn it, you know, the older you get, you know, when you start having, you know, you have friends and family who start having kids, and you have friends and family who start having kids, and you know, you start to see their kids get sick. It really obviously pulls at your heartstrings, and there are obviously things we could do. So, you know, we appreciate Mary for giving us this opportunity to sort of talk about this stuff and giving us the information, because I think it's important for everyone to I mean, no child should have to deal with cancer. I think that is like a universal agreement, consensus. So
Right.
So we appreciate everyone who is already in the fight for combating childhood cancer, raising awareness, and sorry for the sort of heavy part of the show, but like every Wednesday for Habibi Power Hour, we're gonna try to highlight the story of at least one child who went through childhood cancer, and we obviously want to try to honor the legacy and the life that they could have lived. So so tonight was specifically for Isabella Henderson. So I want to apologize, obviously, because everything leading up to this, Isabella is probably looking down on us thinking, how the fuck are these guys honoring me? Yeah. So let me include a link. It's going to be Foursquare Clobbers Cancer or SQ. Anyways, I don't know if that's going to go through. Let's hope it does. So Jay, before we get, I want to get to what's our final segment. Final segment.
Our final segment
It's actually our favorite segment.
was Ask Us Anything.
Boom. There we go. So, Habibis, go ahead and ask us your questions of the week, stories that we couldn't get to or we tried to get to and we failed miserably, and anything else.
And the same thing with the Rumble BBs. Any questions you have, go ahead and post them on the Rumble rants, and we'll read them out. Right now, I mean, Rumble is working with. I think they're working with StreamYard and trying to integrate the Rumble rants within
StreamYard.
their chat within StreamYard, where we
We're still figuring that out.
But we will read them out once you put them out.
Hakarad. Oh, he says, what happened to quick items? Well,
let me tell you what happened to quick items. It was really hilarious because when we first brought it up, they turned out to be as long as the actual segment that we wanted to do. So instead of being at like 69 minutes, it was almost like 2 hours and a half. That's what happened.
it was really bad. I did a very bad job at executing that. And also, I think Jay and I realized that it was much more difficult to jam in as many stories as we possibly could and not have an opinion on every single one. We realized that really actually took away from the quality of the show, so we decided to just scrap it. So,
Right.
I don't know what else to tell you. Janice says, more Pakistani accent, Siraj. It is here. It is here. Let's see. Andrew Maloney says, is Larry Elder a white supremacist? I don't know, Jay, is he?
No, he's not. And it's a very sick way that the journalists here in Los Angeles, the LA Times, and in California in general are portraying the guy out to be. It's fucking hilarious. The guy who actually wore blackface in Virginia got less slack over Larry Elder, and they're trying to showcase that Larry Elder is the blackface of white supremacy. I mean, holy fucking shit. That is fucking absolutely insane. And just so you guys know, I live here in California, and Newsom is scared shitless. He really is over this recall. And for good reason. The guy is a fucking fuck up. And I hope you guys in other states, Florida, Texas, and everything, are appreciating the fact that he's using federal funds to bribe votes in terms of putting out stimulus to people using federal funds. Not California state funds, federal funds from your taxes to California. That's how sick it is. That's how fucking sick it is.
Javi asks, what does a Lebanese accent sound like? Jay, what does it sound like?
Just ask your mom because I whisper in her asshole.
I didn't realize her asshole had ears, but that's nice.
Well, I mean, if you've ever whispered in an asshole, they can actually hear it. Next time I'm down in Florida, I'll show you what I mean.
I would appreciate it. If you could get past the hair and the short shorts.
Ana baddi el hastis ummak, ya habi.
And by hair, I mean my butt hair, of course. The forest down there. Rico Roca says, do you guys think the GOP move on impeaching Biden if they gain the House and Senate during midterms? I can see some of the more extreme parts of the GOP try to call for his impeachment. I mean, they already have. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene basically called for his impeachment before he actually even entered office. So, like, yeah, I think anything's possible. I think, of course, they're going to try to impeach him if they gain control of the House or Senate. Now they got to get both in order to do it. I don't think you're going to get you're not going to. You are going to try to have a situation, or I don't think the GOP wants a situation where they have only control of the House but not the Senate, because that's what happened in the actually it wasn't the first 2 years. It was the second 2 years, the last 2 years of Trump's presidency. And so obviously they just never got anywhere, and the House knew it. They only did it as a referendum against Trump, because if he was twice impeached, surely that would help them come election season. Faye says, question, when will you let the Habibtis start planning 2022 HabibiCon? We need to start soon to have a decent event. Thank you for your question, Faye. That is a very good question, because Jay and I have not thought about it at all.
0%.
0%. But it's also, I think what we might do is we will do a HabibiCon as soon as we hit the next 69th episode. So as you could probably tell in the description of the video, we're on episode 84, aka 69 plus 15. So when it becomes 69 plus 69, boom, that's when we have another HabibiCon. So I'm gonna have to plan that out a little bit.
Yes, I think we could. And I think we'll have a much nicer HabibiCon. And I mean, not to ding on the one that we did have, except for Damien being there, but whatever. But
Yeah.
it was actually really, really good. And
who's now your stepdad?
Absolutely not. 0% essentially.
Ryan says, Siraj, what is the best part of life in Florida, and why is it Ron DeSantis? Like I'm gonna answer that question. You think I'm a DeSantis simp? Get the fuck out of here.
As a Californian looking out into Florida, I have to say I'm very, very jealous.
I'm sure for you the grass is always greener. No, I don't mind DeSantis, but like I'm not a DeSantis simp. I mean, he is a politician after all. He's a politician.
They end up hurting
all.
You. They do end up hurting you.
I am not going to fall, Jay. I'm not going to fall into the trap that all the libs fell into when it came to Andrew Cuomo. They sent so hard for him, and what happened?
Oh my god!
No, not me. God. Couldn't be me. Jay could not be me. Okay.
Who would have thought?
Not me. Anyways, ASOP369, thank you, says Biden wants to make 40 million gun owners felons by having ATF change rule on pistol braces. Comment on roll close 9-8. Check out FPC on how to comment. Let's see. Daniel says you're the worst stepson in the world, Jay. It's true.
It is. It is. And
Brooklyn
also,
Dad.
When
Brooklyn,
we had,
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. When we had the HabibiCon, I just want to say I don't appreciate the flirtation that was happening between Nick and my mother and fucking Dan and my mother. I don't appreciate that shit. Not all. That's why I'm saying we have to ban my mom. If we're
I was just going to say, Jay, that's more your fault for inviting your mom out.
If we're having a HabibiCon in Florida, we're banning my mother. I mean, in Vegas. Sorry.
Damon Toll, aka Brooklyn Dad, who's literally paid by the Democratic National Committee for tweeting, says simping for any politician / government is a mistake. Yeah, it takes one to know him, right, Damien?
Absolutely.
Shivan says Siraj thoughts on Mac Jones. I like it. I like the move. As we were discussing before, the Patriots cut Cam Newton. He got COVID in late 2020. Then he entered COVID protocol in preseason, and then Mac Jones played during the preseason. I'm very excited about this about Jones. Him getting the start in his rookie year. I think it could be a great thing for him. Of course, he's probably going to learn a lot of hard lessons. But the fact that we get a promising young prospect coming up, starting first year, very excited for him. I hope he plays well, and I hope everything goes well for him. So
it's gonna be fantastic watching him lose to Tom Brady.
No, I would never say that he beat Tom Brady. But I can see him win some games. I mean, it's a 17-game season, so it's gonna be a rough go of it in the beginning. Maddie says, "Can anyone understand Siraj half the time?" I hope not. What was the other question? He says, Fuzzy says, "Thank you, Cam Newton." Says, "I'm taking my talents to Bishop Sycamore." Did you see that story? That was crazy, man. Bishop Sycamore basically faked their credentials and lied to ESPN to get on a nationally televised broadcast game with IMG Academy, which is in a school in Bradenton, Florida, just south of Tampa. And they got destroyed like 58-0, but they basically lied to ESPN saying that they had a bunch of Division I recruits, and like all of their players were basically junior college dropouts, like basically pushing 30. Like they got a wife and kids and a mortgage, and they're playing football, and they're getting destroyed by IMG, a bunch of high school kids. You hate to see it. Someone asked, oh God, there was another question. Tug says, "Have you listened to the new Kanye album?" Yes, I listened to it exactly once. Did you listen to it, Jay?
Exactly once. I listened to it all the way through once. I'll be listening to it again later on, either tonight or tomorrow.
It was tough to get through, Jay. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, the first half of it was a little interesting.
The problem is, I feel like, this is what happens when when artists become big time celebrities, like untouchable. No one's able to tell them no, like this shit sucks. They love like this smell. They think their shit don't stink. And so like, really, like Kanye, you need to surround yourself with like some actual critics, and I'd be willing to tell you if something is popping or not. And again, like most artists are guilty of this, but like this album was way too long, and I really want to enjoy it, but it felt almost like a chore to listen to it, honestly. And I mean, there were some good tracks, but like I'm finding that he's just not hungry for it, and I'm hoping that attitude changes around. Maybe I have to produce a beat for him that's going to take me like 6 years to make.
I mean, you can't even produce a 60-second fucking intro beat.
I know, right? What the fuck's wrong with me? Who am I to talk? I mean, Kanye can lock himself in the fucking stadium for a month to produce an album. I can't even lock myself in the room for like 10 minutes to even start a beat.
You're sleeping half the time. That's the problem.
I know, that's
8 minutes
right.
of it is you sleeping.
Hakrat says, "My day went good. To everyone tipped off first class. Thanks to Habibi Power Hour. Love you all. Thank you, Hakrat.
Hakrat. I love you, Hakrat.
Love you too. Love you too." Josh says, how long does it to produce those damn stickers you owe people? Wait.
Not stickers.
You mean
They're
postcards?
Postcards.
Well, it's been about 8 months, about to go on 9. So yeah. It's going to take a little bit longer. Anong says 69-second beat. Yeah, it needs to be that long at least, inshallah. Anong, I don't know when he's getting his channel set up, but definitely go check his stuff out. Go check him out on Twitter. It is at Anong Bai. That's an ANANGBHAI on Twitter. he'll probably post some updates on there. He just got a PS5. That lucky bitch. I mean, I have a PS5 too, but it's up north. I have to go get it.
Oh, you bitch.
I know, but at least I have the PC. Yes. Anyways, Jay, we got anything else? Oh, Jay, do you want to? Should we promote this? Should we do it?
Do it. Promote
Okay.
what are we doing?
For our premium episode. Should we do it?
You want to do it? All right,
you want to do it? Okay, let's fucking do it. All right. So, Habibis,
Right.
if you're, some of you already know, some of you are in the know, but some of you aren't. So we are making
Our
this announcement now.
Patreons.
Our demigod Patreons. We have we actually have a really big guest coming on this week. We've got none other than Ben Shapiro, how do you want to how do we describe him? Was he just like a conservative conservative political
owner,
commentator, probably one of the more influential voices in the conservative movement. Guy talks probably faster than anything I've ever heard. We're going to be talking about his new book, The Authoritarian Moment. We're going to be talking about the news of the week. Very honored to get him on and talk with him, and hopefully get his take on a lot of things. So stay tuned for that. If you're a demigod Habibi, meaning you sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros. You sign up for demigod Habibi level. You can watch the stream live Friday at 12 p.m. East. That's 12 noon East. And then the episode will drop later on that day for anyone who wants to watch it. It will be available. We'll put a preview out, and then it'll be up on our Patreon. So you go ahead and check that shit out. I'm very hesitant in teasing any interviews we do, because usually when I do that, they somehow fall through.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Shit happens sometimes and stuff. But we do have a confirmation on this, and we're very excited for it, especially so you guys can see the height difference between me and Ben
so
Shapiro.
we all know that Jay is actually shorter than Ben. This is actually
I'm 5'4". I'm sitting on like 3 medical books right now to just make the illusion that I'm the same height, or at least the same build as Siraj. But if you guys were at Habibi Con, I was actually, what was the ratio? Like 3-2, 3-1?
Yeah, something like that. Daniel Constance just popping in to say hi. I'll see you on a month. Daniel's doing a really cool experiment. I don't know if he's told anyone. I don't want to give away the details if he hasn't told anyone, but he's unplugging for the entire month of September, and then coming back the very beginning of October to basically share what he experienced in the month of September being unplugged. And then I think he might even do something on his Twitch stream where he learns about everything that happened in September. So very exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he said anything or if he wants to say anything to anybody, but let me spiel it right now.
Yeah. Nate Beebe says, "Wow, Siraj, Neon Taster's son." Yeah, we had his father on twice, and now we're finally getting his son on. Hallelujah. So yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Oh, Angel Molly says, "Will the Ben Shapiro episode upload to Rumble?" Yes, it will be, but not the full thing.
Yeah, you're gonna get the preview on.
You'll get a preview.
Rumble.
You'll get like a 10 to 15 minute preview. Then you got to sign up to watch the full thing. So, oh no, Mary they ignore my super chat. It has begun.
This was by choice, Mom. We ignored it by choice.
She says, "You will be boycotted if you try to ban me, Jay, and you're flying me to Vegas." Yeah, you got to fly her to Vegas, Jay.
God damn it. Fuck.
Yeah. So, let me get that.
Get the urn.
So you can sign up. Jay, do you want to type it into the comments? You can actually,
Yes.
Maybe it's in our banner.
You should have. I think you have a banner. There you go. Twitter, Instagram, merch. You didn't put it in the banner.
Did I not put it in the banner?
No, you can subscribe to it at Habibi Bros over on Patreon. It will be patreon.com/Habibi Bros. And you'll
Let me
be
type
able
it
to
in.
subscribe us there.
Hold on. Ugh, God damn it. Ernie, why you gotta be so thick?
He's so thick. He is a thick earn.
God, I'm such a boomer. Typing with one hand. Here you go. Patreon.com
There it is.
/Habibi Bros. That's where you go to sign up. All you need to do is any of the tiers, doesn't matter. There are different perks to each one. And don't forget to check out our Habibi Discord server if you end up signing up. And that's free to join, by the way, so you can do whatever you want. Jay, we got anything else?
That's it. Habibis. If there's
Habibi.
anything else.
I think we covered everything. So hope y'all can join us on Friday. For those of you who are demigod subs, and the rest of you, we'll see you next time on the Habibi Power. I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And this is the Earn. Love all y'all. Peace. Have a good night. Masalama.
Masalama.